The real reason you're not keeping up with your bullet journal is because you haven't made it a habit. Now, this sounds obvious, okay, but bear with me. The book Atomic Habits by James Clear has gone viral pretty much everywhere, and in it, the author explains a proven way to build strong and easy habits. So using these tips, I'm gonna walk you guys through 4.5 different reasons why you're not keeping up with your bullet journal and how to fix them. If you're new here, subscribe for more bullet journaling content, and let's get into it. Your first problem is likely that you just forget about bullet journaling, and trust me, we've all been there. James Clear made 4 key points. In order to make good, strong habits, they have to be obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. The first step is making it obvious, and pertaining to your bullet journal, that means your bujo has to be following you around, in your face, everywhere you go, 24/7. Keep your bullet journal in a place that you go to every day. For me, I put my bullet journal in my backpack when I go to school, so I can always have it with me to write down due dates and deadlines, but then whenever I'm at home, I keep it in my desk right here because I'm constantly sitting at my desk creating and journaling, and so I know I'll never forget about it because it's right there in my face. Another idea is set a timer every time you need to bullet journal. So if you need to make a new weekly spread every Sunday, set a timer on your phone to remind you every Sunday, hey, don't forget to make a new bullet journal weekly spread because you need it to write down the due dates for that next week. Personally, I don't do this, but that's because I have social media, and social media keeps me on track because I have an expectation to post my weekly spreads every week, and so I have to remember, hey, don't forget to get that weekly spread made because I gotta get a picture taken by this certain date so I can post it on this certain date and show you guys my new spread. By the way, follow me on Instagram at the Mingo Studio if you haven't already. Another reason you're not keeping up with your bullet journal is just because it's not exciting anymore. James Clear wrote that it's the anticipation of a reward and not the fulfillment of it that gets us to take action. The greater the anticipation, the greater the dopamine spike. Basically, if you don't have a benefit from using bullet journaling, then you're not going to be excited to use bullet journaling. There are 2 reasons that most people use bullet journaling: for productivity and for creativity. Personally, I use it for both. On the productivity aspect, this is so easy because obviously you're making to-do lists, you're planning out your events, you're timetabling, you're just scheduling your life together, and you're helping yourself be more productive because you know when you have to do things, what things you have to do by the end of the week, and you don't have to keep everything in your brain because it's on paper. This feeling is actually so exciting for me and definitely a dopamine spike because one of my favorite feelings, don't judge me, okay, is at the beginning of a week, I've made my bullet journal spread, I've taken the picture of it for Instagram, now I get to fill out my spread. I know this sounds stupid, okay, but it's just so exciting to fill out everything that I have to do every single day and get things out of my brain and laid out on paper. So satisfying. On the flip side, if you use bullet journaling more for creativity, this can also be just as exciting because 1, you get to draw, and most of us, I'm sure, are very good artists, and so just release your creative output that way. But also for me, like I mentioned, I'm on social media, and so I film my plan with me, and I always take pictures of my weekly spreads. And so one of the aspects of creativity for me is videography and making my videos, and also editing pictures and making reels and posting them on Instagram and my TikTok and YouTube and everything like that. So since my creative output is part of my content creating process, it's even more exciting for me to not only use my bullet journal, but use it for content creating. And another example is stationery. So if you just went on a huge stationery shopping spree, like I honestly want to, then you'll be more excited to use your bullet journal because you want to test out all the new pens and washi tape and stickers that you just got. Now, speaking of stickers, this is a perfect time to plug my shop. As of the day you're watching this, I have new stickers out on my Etsy shop. The May Mushroom sticker sheet inspired by my May bullet journal plan with me is up and out for all y'all's viewing pleasure. People have been asking me to make mushroom themed sticker sheets for like months now, so I'm really glad I got to make some for you guys, and I hope you can use them in your bullet journal. If you're looking to purchase these sticker sheets, they're going to be on my Etsy shop, which is always linked in the description box below and in my YouTube banner, so go check that out if you're looking for it. And thank you again for always supporting me and my shop. The next problem with not keeping up with your bullet journal is that you're not making it easy. James Clear said if a habit is not able to be started in like 2 minutes, then it's not a good habit because you're not going to be able to keep up with it. When pertaining to bullet journal, this means that your spreads have to be easy to make and easy to use. I tried doing sleep trackers for a long time, like before I started filming my videos, but I used to be super obsessed with mood and sleep trackers, but then I realized I never actually used them. Like, what use do they have for me? I'm not tracking some like sleep problem or whatever, so I just decided to quit them for my bullet journal, and that made it so much easier to use my journal. Another tip that I have for this is cater your bullet journal spreads to your time. If you're a really busy person and you don't have time to spend one day every week making a weekly spread, which valid, okay, then you might want to try planning your weekly spreads ahead of time. I make my bullet journal for my mother as well as mine, and I do not have time to spend every week redoing a spread for her, so I just set up her entire bullet journal for the entire month one day at the beginning of that month, and then by the time that month comes around, she has all her spreads ready and I don't have to worry about making them. And that also makes it easier for her because she can plan weeks in advance other than just using her calendar, because all her weekly spreads are already made. This just helps me in particular because bullet journaling is so much easier and I don't have to be stressed about keeping up with it as much. Before we get into the last tip, don't forget to go down and tap that subscribe button because I make bullet journal videos like this every Saturday and you don't want to miss when I upload next. The best part about forming healthy habits is the payoff, and if you don't have a payoff for your healthy habits, my love, you are missing out, okay? We were just talking about how a bullet journal needs to be attractive and enticing, but once you've finished using your bullet journal, then you need to reward yourself. On a very specific scale, habit trackers, like the page in your bullet journal, is very friggin' satisfying, y'all. I love going through my trackers at the end of the day and filling out all the little boxes because I actually did my habits. And it's motivation to keep those habits going towards the next day. James Clear in his book Atomic Habits also mentioned that it's important to track your progress, and so a habit tracker is perfect because it's literally tracking your habits. It's in the name. But on a broader scale, using a bullet journal as a whole is just as rewarding because it means that you're using your to-do lists, you're planning out your events, you're keeping your life together all in general while being creative and artsy and personalizing the spreads to fit your own life. So yeah, I just love using a bullet journal and I hope it's as rewarding for you guys as it is for me. I couldn't make a video about consistency unless I made a video about inconsistency because it's impractical to expect yourself to be consistent and keeping up with your bullet journal 24/7. Personally, I'm almost forced to be consistent with my bullet journal because of my bullet journaling plan with me and my Instagram. I have an audience waiting for my bullet journal, so I have to kind of keep on track with things. But even then, there are weeks when I barely touch my weekly spreads, whether it's because I'm too overloaded and don't have time, or I'm underloaded and simply have nothing to write down. No matter if it's because of a creative block, a busy schedule, a lack of interest, whatever, let yourself take breaks and put your health and well-being first if you don't find yourself wanting to use a bullet journal right now. And the best part is, once you get back into it, you'll be more inspired again, so it's kind of a win-win. If, however, you've been experimenting with bullet journaling for a while now and you've kind of found that it's not your thing, I get it, because bullet journaling is not for everyone. Which is why I recommend checking out this video over here on the screen, because in it I list some different reasons why bullet journaling might not be for you, but also some alternatives that might interest you instead.